Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new super duper amazing video for today. So I was asked recently if I could do a video about my favourite stories from each Doctor through the TV and of course through Big Finish, going from the first Doctor all the way down to the 14th Doctor, because people want to know what... Everybody knows that my favourite out of the specials is the Giggle, and I want to know what's my favourite stories from the first Doctor down to the 13th Doctor. So, because we've had the 14th Doctor, I'm literally just going to include him. And of course, for the 8th and War Doctors, I'm going to be including Big Finish into this list, because these two Doctors have not had much screen time, but my god, through the expanded media of Big Finish, they've had so many iconic stories through their Doctors. So I'll just kind of say what is my favourite ones for them, what I've listened to so far. So, are you sitting there comfortable? Good, and I will begin. So, for the first Doctor, my favourite story for him has got to go to the Dalek invasion of Earth. This is a fantastic story. I cannot find anything wrong with the story. I don't care if anybody hates it. I mean, this is a story I absolutely love. It is my favourite Hartnell story because this was the very first piece of William Hartnell Doctor Who I actually watched with my dad back in the early 2000s. Right about 2003, 2004. I actually watched this with my dad for the first time, and this was my first introduction to William Hartnell's Doctor, because I originally, for the first Doctor, I basically watched the 5 Doctors, and Richard Herndon was my introduction to the first Doctor. So this was actually my first piece of first Doctor media. Then when I stopped over at my aunt and uncle's, I went and brought the DVD for myself so I can actually sit down at theirs and watch this story all the way through. And I watched it quite a few times because it was just absolutely amazing. And I love the goodbye scene to Susan as well. One day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward with all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. I just absolutely love that. So, for the second Doctor, my all-time favourite second Doctor story has got to go to the invasion. I know episodes 1 and 4 are basically helped with the animation reconstruction, but I absolutely love the invasion because it is an 8-part episode. I think it really fills in all the 8 episodes really well. Admittedly, the Simon don't really come into it round about at the end of episode 4 and the beginning of episode 5. But you have 3 good episodes where it just kind of builds up that build-up. And you got Mr. Tiberius Thorne, who's basically working with the Cyber Planner. And it's just an absolutely iconic story. And I love the fact that we have Unit for the first time. Brigadier as Gordon Leopard Stewart is absolutely amazing and absolutely fantastic. And I just absolutely love it, honestly. I can't find anything wrong with this one. I really love the invasion. It's my favourite Troughton story. So, for the third Doctor now, my favourite third Doctor story has got to go to Sparehead from Space. It is a brilliant way to dive into Doctor Who in colour. It's a brilliant way to dive into the third Doctor era. And of course, it sets up the Autons for the very first time. I love the Autons. I really do love them. And the fact they have returned twice in New Who, they haven't really been overused. I would love to see them come back and fight against Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor at some point. I just absolutely love the Autons. The fact that you have a nesting consciousness unit and plastic dolls come to life, smashing shop windows, and you just have the hands where they flip open and you just see the streets panicking. I absolutely love it. And of course, Jon Pertwee is fantastic as the third Doctor because he's like a little bit of a schoolboy, really, where he literally tries to steal the TARDIS and the TARDIS key off the Brigadier, and he gets Liz Shaw to do it for him. And then, of course, you give it to him, haven't you? What? No. And look, he's going to try now. And then when the TARDIS basically doesn't leave because the Doctor is exiled, and the way the third Doctor comes out and he's literally like sulking, it just absolutely makes me laugh every time I watch it. So for the fourth Doctor, aka my all-time favourite Doctor, Tom Baker, this is basically one that does keep changing, because one time I say it's Genesis of the Daleks, the other time I say it's either the City of Death. So for this one, I'm going to have to say it's definitely got to be Genesis of the Daleks, because Genesis of the Daleks, it introduces us to Davros. We see the full creation of the Daleks. We are absolutely brilliant in the story. Tom Baker gives us that fantastic line, Do I have the right to trust these two wires together? And the Daleks are finished. I literally just love this story. Genesis of the Daleks is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love it. For the fifth Doctor now, my favourite fifth Doctor story has got to go to the 5 Doctors. It was basically the case of Androzani, but with rewatching early this year, around about in September, this fantastic box set, I absolutely love the Five Doctors a hell of a lot more. Now, the Five Doctors, it stars Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee back as the main two doctors because William Hartnell passed away and Tom Baker basically never came back to film the story. So they kind of used unused footage from Shada at the time. And of course, the first Doctor got Richard Herndon to play. This story is iconic because we see the return of a few companions. We see the return of Susan. We kind of see like projection type sort of things. We have Jamie and Zoe, Liz Shaw and Captain Yates. We've got the Brigadier in this one. We have Sarah Jane in this one. And it's absolutely brilliant. And of course, I actually do like the way all the doctors talk nearly towards the end where he goes, "So, you're the latest one, are you?" "Yes, and the most agreeable. Either our dress manners have not improved. Neither have our manners." I just absolutely love the way how all the doctors kind of just niggle at each other a bit. And then, of course, they all say goodbye and go back into their own time zones. I just absolutely love it. For my favourite Sixth Doctor story, it has to go to Attack of the Cybermen. This one, it is very, very lore heavy. And I mean, it's literally proper lore heavy. Because it's a prequel to the 10th Planet and it's a sequel to Tomb of the Cybermen and the Invasion. And, of course, a little bit to Earthshock because it's the return of the Earthshock Cybermen. I just absolutely love the story because it's 2 parts long, 2 45-minute episodes, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I can't find anything wrong with the story. It's gruesome, the way they literally crush Lytton's hands. I'm currently writing my own Doctor Who story, and it's called Return of the Cybermen, and it stars the 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday, and of course we go back to the planet Teros, and I do have the Cybermen do that once again, crushing somebody's hands to basically the bones and the blood comes squirting out the hands. So I'm hoping I can get that published soon because I'm currently in the middle of writing it. I'm on the 11th page, but I absolutely love it. I loved whatever it so far. For the 7th Doctor, my favourite 7th Doctor story has got to go to The Curse of Fenric. It is an absolutely iconic story. The way the 7th Doctor manipulates Ace because of Fenric. Now, Fenric is a bit like a god, so with Russell T Davies saying that it's going to bring back more like godlike creatures, I would love to see the return of Fenric in the future. I absolutely love the story. I think McCoy is absolutely brilliant, and we do see the chess master Doctor. For the 8th Doctor, I'm going to have to go into the Dark Eyes sets, the stories. And my favourite one is called Eyes of the Master. Now, this one, it is absolutely brilliant because it has the 8th Doctor come across this new version of the Master played by Alex McQueen. It's absolutely brilliant because of the banter between the two of them. "Oh, I was expecting the short one with the umbrella. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Have you done something different to your hair? I'll let you have a word with my barber about that." I absolutely love it. I really do love how Alex McQueen and Paul McGann just throws banter back and forth at each other in this story. It's absolutely brilliant, and I absolutely love listening to this in Big Finish. If you haven't listened to it, get all of Dark Eyes. Get Dark Eyes 1 to Dark Eyes 4 because it's an absolutely amazing series. My favourite story of the series has got to go to Eyes of the Master. It's just absolutely brilliant. So for the War Doctor, it has to go to The Innocent, the very first story that starts off the War Doctor box set, aka Only the Monstrous. I kind of love this one because it has the Doctor kind of like forget who he is because he basically stops a Dalek bomb going off and it makes him forget his memory, and then of course he lands on the planet and he ends up meeting this girl and she's there trying to help heal him and all that. And of course the Doctor's there and he knows all about the Time War and stuff. It's just absolutely brilliant story, and John Hurt is fantastic in the performance as the Doctor. I kind of wish we had this on screen as an on-screen story. So for the 9th Doctor, my favourite 9th Doctor story has got to go to The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. I absolutely love this one. I love my rewatch because I recently rewatched the remasters of Series 1. I'm currently on Series 2 at the moment. I absolutely love this episode. I mean, it's creepy, it's horrifying, the way, even though like the CGI is a little bit dated now, where the fact when you just got the gas masks coming through the mouth and the eyes, it's still actually quite good and really good entertaining. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. It's an amazing 2-parter, and I just think it's actually took over Dalek for me because I love the setting in World War 1. I love the zombie gas masks. I am my mommy. I just absolutely love this episode. I really do. So my favourite 10th Doctor story. Now, this has changed massively because it did used to be The Waters of Mars. But I have recently, back early in May, not before, this is way before I knew about the remasters coming out, and I weren't really going to get the remasters. I kind of got them because I was asked if I could do like reviews on them for you all. And my favourite Tennant story has got to go to one of the darkest stories for the 10th Doctor, and it is Human Nature and Family of Blood. Now, the reason I say it's one of the dark ones, because it's actually quite interesting how the fact the Doctor, who has fought through gods, demons, Daleks, Cybermen, the Master, Autons, Saigons, has to hide turning himself human by basically using this machine to kind of literally put his Time Lord stuff inside a fob watch. It's absolutely brilliant because the fact that the Doctor's battled through all of these and he meets this one alien race and he wants to go and hide because these alien race wants to live forever. With a life of the Time Lord, they can do this and they will literally reign all the destruction. I love the fact that the Doctor sets course to 1913, just before World War One, and basically he's there like a school teacher. You got Martha, basically a scullery maid. I really love the setting because when the Family of Blood find out the Doctor has turned himself human and they do want him to change back, they're like, change back! That is just a brilliant cliffhanger. I really love the Scarecrow, like the Scarecrow armies. Soldiers! Soldiers! I love the music in this as well. And I really just love it. I think it's a fantastic story. And I really love the way how the Doctor does punish the Family of Blood. I mean, the Doctor, the father of mine was trapped in chains inside a dwarf star. The mother of mine was actually trapped in a collapsing star. Literally just threw into a black hole, which was absolutely amazing for the Doctor to do. Daughter of mine was actually trapped inside a mirror. And basically, the son of mine was actually suspended in animation, but as a scarecrow. And that is really cruel punishments for the Doctor to give, I think. And I actually quite enjoy it. So, for my favourite story for the 11th Doctor, I'm going to have to go with The Snowman. Now, The Snowman, it is my favourite Christmas special. It is my favourite Matt Smith episode. I love the return of the Great Intelligence. The fact that we kind of meet another version of Clara, which is one that really got me into liking Janet Coleman's performance as Clara before she actually does go back and become, Clara. It's very, very timey-wimey. I love the Panosta gang. Strax, played by Dan Starkey, who I've met, and I have got his autograph here as the Santarin from Flux. I absolutely love his performance as Strax. Did you want me to get their memory worm? You didn't use the gauntlets. I really love Matt Smith and Dan's like banter as the Doctor and Strax. It's absolutely brilliant and amazing. I just absolutely love it. And it's my favourite Matt Smith Christmas episode and my favourite Christmas episode in general. I just absolutely love it. Really do. So for my favourite 12th Doctor story, it has to go to World Enough for Time and The Doctor Falls. It is an incredible two-parter. 3 versions of the Cybermen. 2 incarnations of the Master. 1 Doctor. How's this going to work out? It actually works into the Doctor's death. He gets kind of sat by a Cyberman and he's there trying to hold back the regeneration. And during that time, he is trying to fight it back. He blows up a whole massive deck full of Cybermen. And of course, Bill gets converted into a Cyberman, which is a massive, massive consequence for the Doctor. I love the fact John Sims back as the Master. I absolutely love John Sims' performance in this story. It's actually a lot better than basically The Sound of the Drums, Last of Time Lords, and The End of Time Parts 1 and 2. I just absolutely love it. So for Jodie Whittaker, my favourite episode of the Whittaker era has got to go to our last one, The Power of the Doctor. There's just so much going on in this story of hers. I mean, Cybermen, the Cybermasters, Cyber Warriors, you got the Master, you got Daleks all working together. You got them going after this kind of entity creature. I love the fact we have Ace and Tegan's return. I absolutely love the fact that we have the Guardians of the Edge, basically, where basically we just say David Bradley returns as the face of the first Doctor. And of course we have Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy's return, which is something I've been desperately waiting since 2013, because back in 2013 we had Tom Baker's face come back as the creator. We had Peter Davison return in 2007 in Time Crash, and of course we have Paul McGann's return also in 2013 in Night of the Doctor. So I've always wanted to see the return of Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy in Doctor Who, and I actually got it in this episode. I absolutely love this episode because it gives me that fantastic fact that we literally have Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy's return to Doctor Who after I've wanted it since 2013. Back after Time Crash aired, I thought it was never going to happen again. I always thought it was going to be a one-off, and then Paul McGann came back. Then, of course, Tom Baker came back, and some other... and then, of course, now we have Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy. I absolutely love the fact they have come back, and I really do like the fact they're absolutely brilliant in the role. I love the holographic 7th Doctor, where he has that moment with Ace, and the holographic 5th Doctor, and they talk about Adric. It's really nice to have, basically, in the last 2 years, we had kind of mentions to Adric. We had Adric in this story, and then, of course, in the giggle between the 14th and the 15th Doctors, and they talked about Adric. I really do like the fact how, basically, they kind of still feel guilty about Adric sacrificing his own life on the space of the freighter in Earthshock, trying to stop the Cybermen from destroying Earth. And then, of course, for my favourite episode for the 14th Doctor, I'm going to have to say it is the giggle. I really love Neil Patrick Harris' performance as the Toymaker. David Tennant is absolutely brilliant as the 14th Doctor. I actually prefer David Tennant as the 14th Doctor more than I do for his 10th Doctor performance. I mean, I don't really like Series 2. I don't like The End of Time. There's a little bit of Series 3 I don't really care for, but Series 4 is amazing. And I actually do quite like how this feels like it's an old face, but it still feels like a new incarnation because the Doctor's gone through so much since basically he left Donna and regenerated at the end of The End of Time. I absolutely love it. I really do love it. And I also have to be honest with you, I love the fact of the bi-regeneration, that it's something new. I have seen so many people complain about the bi-regeneration. It doesn't make sense to some people, but it's new, it's brilliant, and just enjoy Doctor Who for what it is. If you don't like it anymore, that's up to you. If you don't care about the show anymore, again, that's up to you. If you want to stop watching it after this episode, that's up to you. I'm going to carry on with the show. I absolutely love Doctor Who. It's been my all-time favourite show since I was actually a child. And I'm quite looking forward to see where they're going to go with this new direction with Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson. I absolutely love the giggle. The giggle was absolutely my favourite special out of the 60th anniversaries. I absolutely love it because, one, we have the return of Mel. I always love it if a classic companion comes back. I loved it with Sarah Jane in School Reunion, but I have to think the one with Mel, literally the giggle, I really think that's the best return for a companion so far. Ace and Tegan's one was okay. It's not as good as Sarah Jane's, and Mel's is a lot better because Sarah Jane literally talks to the Doctor about when he left her in Aberdeen. The Doctor and Mel have that little bit where she tells him everything they've basically what she's been up to since she last saw the Doctor on Iceworld and went travelling the universe with Savalon Glitz. I really do quite enjoy Savalon Glitz's name called out in this one. I really do enjoy Ncuti Gatwa's performance as the 15th Doctor because he has so much electricness. He has so much buzziness. I'm quite looking forward to seeing him back as the Doctor at Christmas Day. So that is my favourite episodes from basic the 1st to the 14th Doctors through TV and Big Finish. What are your favourites? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what is your favourite 60th anniversary special. Is it the Starbase? Is it Wild Blue Yonder? Is it the giggle? For me, the giggle wins. I really love the giggle. It's got some great moments in there. It's got some nice callbacks. It's got very, very creepy moments with the saggy doll and the saggy baby. So I can't remember what they're called. I really do like them. That was absolutely creepy. That's the only thing I found so creepy in the episode because it actually did make me jump when they literally started attacking Donna. And that's the only time a Doctor Who episode actually has made me jump in a very, very long time. I mean, last time I jumped like in a Doctor Who episode is when I was watching Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone back in 2010. I've not really been scared by Doctor Who, but when you see those dolls attacking Donna, I literally did jump out of my skin. And that's one thing. I love being frightened by Doctor Who, and the fact that I haven't really been frightened in Doctor Who for so long, and then the fact this episode airs with that creepy moment in it, and I just jumped. I absolutely love this episode. It's fantastic. It's got some good horror moments in it. It's got some good, very, very good creepy moments. So yeah, I do love the giggle. It's my favourite 14th Doctor episode. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content.